It is very rare that I rant, much less in a video uploaded to YouTube, but something along those lines is probably bound to happen after my growing frustration with this RCA indoor HD TV antenna, which I recently purchased to replace another RCA antenna that I had inadvertently broken when attempting to adjust the dipoles. And here is a look at the original RCA FM television antenna that I was using. This was manufactured by the Audiovox Accessories Corporation of Indiana, made in China, but decently built. And I was adjusting one of these dipoles for better reception when I was a bit too aggressive with that, and I ended up kinking the one portion of it and also snapping it off from its base. And of course, after doing that, I was no longer able to receive the majority of FM stations since the antenna's continuity was compromised. So just as pretty much anyone else would do if they had broken something, I looked for and sourced a replacement. This RCA indoor HD TV antenna, model ANT111F, was found on eBay.com. After looking around on eBay and attempting to source a new antenna, I happened across this one, the RCA indoor FM and HD TV antenna, which was being sold for $10.48. Little did I know that Amazon.com was selling the exact same antenna, $8.19 plus free expedited shipping. This is the box, just came today. First thing that alerted me that something was up was when I received this. The box that it shipped into my home says Amazon Fulfillment Services when I clearly ordered this from eBay.com, not Amazon. As indicated by this gift receipt, which was included with the packaging, it's very apparent to me that this is merely an Amazon reseller, and for those, I guess, who don't bother looking at Amazon, or they rather just use their PayPal accounts to pay on eBay, this person is able to make some profit off of that. And it mentions here on the front about some special offer that you are eligible for because we bought this antenna. The only things included within the box alongside the antenna is a brief getting started guide for information on locating the best position, connecting it to your television. There's no mention of connecting it to your tuner, even though it claims to be an FM antenna. And apparently this antenna too was manufactured by Audiovox Accessories Corporation, and also a leaflet which again mentions to try them free for 10 days. I guess it's some sort of online TV service or on-demand service. So I won't be using that. Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. These dipoles are really not all that large. I was under the impression they were going to match the size of the dipoles present on that other RCA antenna I had previously used. You just get these two dipoles which screw into their bases here, which cannot be adjusted, unlike most other rabbit ears where you can tilt and pivot them as you see fit to improve your reception. You're just stuck with this completely vertical positioning or on an angle. That's all you can do to attempt to position these antennas, and I just noticed that par for the course, this dome, rather this loop antenna, is bent from the factory. It's not supposed to be touching that dipole. That is most definitely bent if we take a closer look at it. I can assure you I did not do that when I was installing it. That's how it was when I received it. So I'll leave that disconnected for now. I don't believe I need that for FM reception. The things that I'm concerned about are the dipoles. It says made in China, despite its claims on the box of being designed and engineered in the USA, which is really of no benefit if it's being manufactured elsewhere, which in this case it was. It's got some indiscernible date code, and you probably notice how cheap this is. Antennas are very flimsy. You just move this and they start rocking around. Now, even though these dipoles are broken off, I don't hear any jiggling. They're nice and firm to the touch. They actually stay where you position them, and you can pivot them again as you see fit to improve reception. That seems not to be the case with this antenna. Dipoles are small, cheap and flimsy. This box combined with this box Yeah, that equals about the weight of this antenna. Very light, very flimsy. I'm sure the right amount of wind from perhaps a fan or a gust would end up knocking this over. Customary for rabbit ear antennas, you get a 3-foot, or what I believe to be a 3-foot coaxial cable for connecting up to your TV or tuner. That's got a 75 ohm F-type connection. Here we are tuned to a station. It's not receiving any signal now. It's completely dark, so we can attempt to tune up and down the dial, and it just keeps going, and eventually it should stop at one or two of the stronger stations. This is a station presently broadcasting in stereo, although they mainly switch over to FM mono, and this is a very strong signal, yet it's only reading a 2 on the meter. So 94.7, that's a very strong station. What some folks in the radio field like to call blowtorches. That one is, and then it gets those couple of stations that just keeps going up and down the dial. So I could tune to 105.1, and it goes and goes and goes, and then it has 93.9, 94.7, and that's it. You can count it on one hand how many stations you can listen to with this antenna. Rest assured, the performance does not increase whether or not you place this near an open window or depending on the positioning of its dipoles. Likewise, removal of the loop antenna has no bearing whatsoever on its FM reception capabilities. So I can attach it and push it in, which takes a lot of effort to do. It feels like I'm going to break it, actually. All of the non-commercial stations that I enjoy listening to are not tunable with this antenna. I can't listen to them, I can't receive them, and as long as their power doesn't rival that of a blowtorch commercial radio station, I can't listen to them with this current setup because this antenna is just absolute rubbish. I'm sure the small size of the dipoles don't help the situation any, but if you want to ask me, it's just not a very good antenna to begin with. They're sold a dime a dozen online and in stores. I think they're the current offering from RCA, and they're just a complete and total letdown. And I'm sure if it's having this much trouble with analog FM listening, I can only imagine how poor the performance will be with digital high definition television.